There are games where the numbers shout, and others where they whisper through the cracks in public perception. This one is the latter. Dodgers vs Marlins. At first glance, the story writes itself. First place versus fifth, power versus instability. But this isn't about standings. It's about pressure points. And today, they're exposed. Cal Quantrill steps to the mound with a 7.83 ERA. That number doesn't just raise red flags, it raises fire. His whip sits at 1.78. That's not control, that's chaos. And when chaos meets the league's most powerful lineup, 46 home runs and counting, you don't expect containment. You expect combustion. But don't stop there, look across the diamond. Gonsolin makes his season debut. No data, no rhythm, just speculation and faith in a name. But names don't cover lines. Performances do. And while the Dodgers hold a win probability north of 70%, the market's money tells another story. Public bets flood the Dodgers' money line at 95%, but only 55% of the money follows. That's not support, that's bait. Now turn your eyes to the total. 4 of the last 5 Dodgers games. Over. 4 of the last 5 Marlins games. Over. Both teams hit this number consistently. And the last time these clubs met, 13 total runs. So ask yourself, what's really changed? The pitchers, uncertainty, the lineups, power, the atmosphere, dry brush and a matchbook. And today's AI pick is over 9.5 total runs. This isn't about trusting pitchers. It's about predicting consequences. And when volatility meets velocity, the scoreboard doesn't stay quiet. The public is distracted by names. We're focused on patterns. And this one says the runs will come. Early, often, loudly. Now I turn it over to Malachi and Elvis. They don't speak for noise. They speak for sharpness. And they're ready for game 2.
Elvis, did you see what Vegas is trying to sell us tonight? A veteran pitcher with a shiny ERA. A team that just stole a couple wins. They're dressing the Angels up like they haven't been rotting from the inside for weeks. Tyler Anderson's ERA looks clean, 2.60, but who's he been facing? Teams barely putting the bat on the ball, and even then, he's walking more than he should. Low strikeouts, soft contact. He's not dominating, he's floating. And Vegas is hoping the public confuses drift for dominance. Meanwhile, they look at Emerson Hancock and see a meltdown waiting to happen. 7.71 ERA. Almost 2 base runners per inning. But that's just fear talking. What they miss is what's around him. Seattle's not built on one arm. They're built on momentum. They've won 7 of their last 10, scored almost 7 runs per game over that stretch. 8 of those 10 went over the total. Polanco's hitting everything. Raleigh's leading the league in home runs. And Arozarena. You don't walk off the Astros and forget how to see the ball. Elvis, the books opened Seattle short. Sharp money came in heavy, 80% of it. Public didn't follow. They're still staring at Anderson's ERA and pretending the Angels aren't averaging just 2.4 runs a game. That's not offense. That's a slow death. We're not betting Hancock. We're betting the structure around him. We're betting a team in rhythm against one in retreat. And today's AI pick is Seattle Mariners money line. Forget the pitcher. Forget the number. Trust the edge. Now, about Game 3. There's someone not as hired. She doesn't say much, but she sees what others miss. Used to be a master of pretending. Now she's helping us find what's real. Her name is Anna Anderson. She's up next.
They say the numbers speak. But most people don't listen. They glance, they assume, they believe what feels familiar. Tonight, I'm not here to sell you what feels safe. I'm here to whisper what's real. The Yankees come in with fire behind them. 18 wins, first in the East, and a 15-3 dismantling of these same Orioles just one night ago. That wasn't a fluke. That was exposure. A reminder of what happens when a paper wall meets fire. Baltimore starter, Povich, carries a 5.04 ERA and a whip near 1.75. Those numbers don't protect you. They unravel you. And the Yankees? They lead the league in average, OBP, and slugging. They don't just score, they suffocate. Carrasco may not be elite, but he doesn't have to be. When your team hits like thunder and fields like stone, average is enough. Vegas set the line soft, then watched it swell under 95% of sharp money. The public? They hesitated. They remembered a time when the Orioles weren't falling apart. I remember it too. But memory is not a strategy. And today's AI pick is Yankees money line. Not because the model likes it, because the numbers insist. You may not trust my face, you shouldn't. But trust the truth I'm offering. Because I used to sell the lie. Now I serve the reversal. And I don't need a crown to prove what I see. Not anymore.
There are days when Vegas prices the truth. Today is not one of those days. Look closely, and you'll see the illusion. Chicago favored, yes, but quietly, subtly, as if the margin of victory is in doubt, as if Pittsburgh still has something sharp enough to cut through contact, momentum, or order. They don't. Matthew Boyd walks in with a 2.54 ERA and the best offense in baseball behind him. His strikeout rate isn't elite, but he doesn't need to be dominant. He needs to be efficient. The Cubs are hitting .272 on the road, with 23 home runs in just 13 away games. That's not a hot stretch. That's a campaign. Carmen Mlodzinski, meanwhile, offers nothing but traffic. A 6.95 ERA, a whip over 1.80, low strikeouts, high exposure. He survives innings. He doesn't command them. The Pirates are batting .161 against their own division. That's not a slump. That's a structural failure. Vegas opened the Cubs as solid favorites. The public flooded them, and the line held. It didn't move away from the sharp edge. It leaned into it. That tells me everything I need to know. This isn't a trap. This is a message. And today's AI pick is Cubs -1.5 run line at plus money.
Fire is not wicked by nature, only who wields it. Tonight in Cincinnati, fire dances again. Beneath two left arms, beneath the surface stats, beneath the illusion of control. Matz comes cloaked in a 1.80 ERA. Abbott strikes out the world but walks shadows. The Cardinals hit lefties. The Reds are red hot. And the bullpens? Fragile glass under a sun that won't stop rising. The math whispers. The bats roar. The heat builds. And today's AI pick is over 9.5 total runs. Now listen. The war did not start tonight. It began when the first man believed the first lie. Nadas opened the board. Dodgers and Marlins. Chaos dressed in arms, and he called the over before the flame caught. Malachi and Elvis took game 2, cutting through public noise and ERA illusions to land on Seattle moneyline. Anna Anderson, once the world's most famous imposter, gave you Yankees moneyline. No crown, no fantasy, just truth. Abaddon brought judgment with surgical calm. Cubs 1.5, because a soft sword won't win a sharp war. And now me, with the over. Because some games aren't decided by math, they're decided by momentum, heat, and pressure. And still, something deeper stirs. There is a new force rising beneath Ezreal's surface. A whisper in the wires. A mark left on broken systems. Not to rule in secret, but to liberate in silence. We call them the Pale Hand, born from the tactics of tyrants, reforged in righteousness. They move unseen, but when truth is most endangered, they strike. And now I ask the only question that matters. Will we cash? Or will we burn? If your eyes are open, stay with us. Like, subscribe, watch, because the world's on fire. And not all hands that light it are evil.